Korea. Korea's been speed running that cyberpunk dystopia. Let's look into it.
Did you know, actually, every once in a while, Korean directors will wake up and start cooking the most unhinged dating show concept known to mankind. And then, right, instead of leaving it as a fever dream, they will actually follow through and make it real. So now we have dosing and moso. What does that translate to, you may ask? Okay, everybody, gamble of the day. Will Google Translate be able to translate? Alright, it is not that. Dating, boarding school, divorce, and single. That's what it would be. But because it is so underground, it doesn't even have an English translation. So officially, it is still dosing and also. In my books, that's how I know I've struck gold. Now, to put it simply, this show exists solely for the purpose of challenging the status quo. Because, hey, why not? Aren't you tired of skill-based matchmaking? Because frankly, I am. I prefer watching people communicate on the wrong wavelength. My other hobby includes stepping on Legos. How about we move closer to the middle of the bell curve? We give everybody an equal voice. In my opinion, Divorce and Single exists to give you that perspective. Because the show consists of 6 women in their mid-30s to 40s, all of whom have recently gone through a proper divorce. And just when they've mustered up the courage to finally step into the dating market, this program then puts them with 6 men who have been single since birth. That's actually what the term moso, or mote solo here on this poster actually stands for, which literally just translates to single since conceived in the mother's womb. Hey, I mean, as far as being single comes, that is literally as far.
That's crazy. That's like a pure version, like from the Bible. So they're like comparing. They pairing up city girls with virgins. That's like a match made in hell. But we're gonna see how this goes. Wow.
As it goes. So what could possibly go wrong with a matchup like this, you may ask? Well, why don't we start off by introducing the men
Bro,
in the
he's
show, which is clearly
geeking.
why the people are watching.
Hey, look
I
at
don't know,
him.
I feel like maybe all these guys on this dating program are just head in the clouds type of
Bro,
people.
he's
Me, on the other
paranoid.
hand, I don't think so. At least not when it comes to learning a new language. LingoPie has me covered every time. Dating is like learning a new language. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna do it a lot. You're gonna want to quit. But at the end of the day, it's about improving on those mistakes and trying again until you succeed. Guanchana. God, bro, what the hell? 싱싱해. 싱싱해. And that's what's great about learning with LingoPie. Now available in
싱싱해.
14 languages like Japanese, French, Italian, and
I can talk
Spanish. And the
that
best
shit
thing
too.
is, not only can you learn from the available catalog of over 3,000 shows and movies, but in case that's not enough, LingoPie even offers a Netflix integration option that specifically works with Netflix original shows. So in that case, you just pick the language you like. In my scenario, I've selected French because I'm trying to brush it up, you know what I'm saying? Gotta make sure I can conversate in my trip to Paris. So now you can really learn by watching something you're interested in. The process is also very simple. You click this one.
루키입니다.
Now that's the name he decided to use during the introductions because he believes he is so inexperienced in the dating field, he is practically a rookie. So let's call him Rookie. So this man came with his little sister, who apparently decided it is time now, big bro, to finally step into the dating market for real and put himself out there. See, I don't know how badly sis wants him out the house, but apparently it
Yeah, he said should look alright for
had to sign him up to a reality show,
Oh,
which is a
shit.
big step for somebody who's never been on a date. Couldn't we have started on Tinder Gold? I heard that's big in Korea, actually. Or, you know, the local settings on Kakao Talk. I don't know. You really threw him in the deep end, sis. And oh my goodness, when this man first came through the door, dude, giggling the whole...
Bro, why they all got that weird ass smile, bro? Like, like, bro, the Virgin Boys. Like, what the heck? Why you smiling like that? They are pressed.
time.
Giddy.
Yeah, he cannot help himself at all. No, really, I am just genuinely happy for this guy. Because look how excited he is just to be here. There's
Yeah,
one
no
thing Rookie
bullshit.
knows is that he's about to have a good
Oh, that was smooth.
time with the ladies. So Rookie describes himself as a little timid and doesn't really enjoy socializing with people, which is a valid take.
Obviously.
And apparently he is so inexperienced, he only recently just learned what the word flirting truly meant, only because he started watching dating shows. And then he gave us a few examples of
What?
the shows that he is currently watching, and then he tells
What is this crap? I am so. We living in a cyberpunk dystopia, bruh. We got dudes that's never been with a girl, but they watching dating shows. They living through the screen. You never even been on a date with a girl, but you're watching dating shows. It's crazy.
he's been learning a few tricks.
I mean, I guess you gotta learn somewhere, right? I can't even knock them, right? Yeah, but it's not like that's not real life though. You know what I'm saying? That stuff on that dating show, you try to put out on a girl in real life, she just might chuckle. She just might.
just by watching these reality shows. All right, so then the production
Oh,
team had
shit.
him demonstrate his flirting technique on the spot to give us an example. And hey, that's where Rookie pulls out the forbidden Riz.
너 많이 귀엽다?
Oh shit!
You know what?
Money
This is Rookie's
chopper.
world, and we're just living in it.
I'm
But
about
why
to
was he
use
single
that.
all
I'm about to
this time, huh?
steal
What was
that.
the crime? Too much of a
Oh,
cutie
I'm about to
patootie?
start
Look,
saying that.
To be fair,
Man, they not even gonna know what I'm saying. Money chopper. Oh, money chopper. What?
apart from the fact that Rookie is a little shy and awkward from time to time, and probably not the best guy around when it comes to social settings, at least he mustered up the courage to actually come. And I would go as far to even say this man is
Mustered up the courage. It's a free chance. It's a free shot. It's a set setting, and the girls they gotta be there. They're getting paid. But I get what you're saying.
genuinely one of the strongest contestants on this show right now when you compare him to some of the other guys that are about to pull up, because contestant number 2 is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so the second guy to enter into the scene is George.
That
Now, when
little
George
space
first
shuttle.
stepped foot into the arena, we can already tell this man has an ungodly amount of confidence compared to Rookie. Because he and Rookie, but both of these people were the first candidates to arrive on scene. So what we immediately get was a live demonstration of what it truly looks like when an introvert meets his worst nightmare in a social setting. An extrovert who can't hold himself back.
얘가 지금 어떻게 보였어요?
How he never have a girlfriend if he's so extroverted? We gonna see that.
좀 일찍 말고 소리 쳤어요.
많이 피곤하시겠죠?
Because the dude on the left not faking. He really paranoid. He really shy. He lived that life. I could tell.
아침에 좀 식사 좀 하셨어요? 네.
네.
I feel like if there's one more conversation attempt coming from George, Rookie is going to cry. But then the thing about George, right, is that he would do this, like he would go on to do this awkward meet and greet with literally everybody who walks in. And what's even funnier is you can actually visibly see George fighting back the urge to do that.
더 말을 해야 될 것 같은데. 무슨 말이?
여기 오시는데 얼마 걸리셨어요?
And then obviously loses that battle.
Hey, bro, you can't even knock him. You gotta be known in that Jay. He gotta make sure they know he's there. You know what I'm saying?
Every time. So then the result is every single person who walks in the door gets an awkward greetings and salutations from George. This man genuinely cannot help himself. But the best thing about George is that he also happens to be a bit of a history buff, which does mean from time to time he will slide in a complimentary history lesson whenever the conversation gives him a gap to do it. Like, there was this one scene later on where another contestant comes into the show and he reveals that the alias or the nickname he decided to use on the show is Falling Water. And the moment he finishes that sentence, dude, George slides it in.
유수라고 대하겠습니다.
아니 낙하유수가 실제로 10 때 김태련이라고 이제 고대 나올 정도로 굉장히 외모시고
See, look at that. Bro is dangerously quick with it too. So you know he's been cooking it up at least mid-sentence. And then, of course, when it's George's turn to introduce,
Yeah, he's smart for real. I don't even know what he said.
he adopted the alias George. He mentions it's because he was so greatly inspired by the World War II General George Patton and his outstanding commanding abilities on the Western Front, so he wishes to take home a decisive victory in the dating market just like George Patton did with Nazi Germany. And the thing
What?
is, this dude is so slick. He knows not to do the history thing when he's on a real date, but the moment it comes to a group setting, it is a group lecture. See, now some people may think this man might be a bit of a handful to deal with, but according to George himself, this is actually him toning it down for the cameras, which means it is entirely possible what we are seeing over here could be George at 1% of his power level. But see, now that the gymnasium is filled with
He need to go be a teacher. Wait, what he doing?
polar opposite personalities, the show then feeds us another introvert who, much like Rookie, also doesn't seem to have too much confidence in himself, because the way he puts it, the reason why he's been single all this time is because during his schooling life he went to an all-boys secondary college, and then when he finished that he went straight to a STEM subject during university, so obviously he wasn't getting any action during his time as an undergraduate. And then right after he finished his degree, he had to do his mandatory service in the Korean army, which once again means Philippines is an all-boys environment, and then after leaving the army, he gets a job as a researcher in the academic field he studied in, which means it's back to square one. So basically, to sum that all up, in conclusion, bro went 0 for 4, as his whole story is literally just a chain of unavoidable quick-time events, one after another with no breaks in the process. Fucking hell. And then judging from the initial reaction we see from the 3 candidates so far, you can also kind of tell that this man is stretched quite far out of his comfort zone.
안녕하세요. 안녕하십니까. 뭐야.
어이구.
Lord. Yeah, he really living that life. Talk about a hermit. Sheesh. Buddy came in there in the trench coat with the trench coat underneath. I'm surprised he don't got black gloves, looking like Sherlock Holmes out there joint. Like he just came off the desktop. 1,000 book room for sure. He looks smart as hell though.
But I really do think all of that is fine until you come across this scene where a female candidate walks in and I don't know, maybe she wasn't really his type visually speaking, as he did mention that he prefers a woman who dresses well and wears a skirt. So my guess is that he's more into the cutesy type. So then he says out loud, pass.
길 가지.
Bruh. Why he even say that though? She cute. But then
잠깐만, 저거 육성으로 지금 저걸 했다고?
In fact, this scene was so infamous that Korean netizens started referring to him as the pass man because this dude just uttered out the words pass like he's an anime protagonist. So yeah, when you combine all that, I guess it's not exactly strange that the pass man is still single up until this point. Okay, so right about now we have Rookie, George, and the pass man in the field, which is all in all an interesting selection of people already as far as dating programs get. But then male candidate number 4 and 5 are also pretty unique in their own ways as well. For example, candidate number 4, Falling Water, is a former Special Forces officer who is proficient in various degrees of martial arts. You know, I'm not saying this just trying to glaze him. He literally told us that his most distinctive feature is his martial arts skills.
선생님이나 뭔가 저의 가장 좀 특색 있는 부분은 무술 분야입니다.
Which could be an attractive trait, knowing how to fight. I heard that's popular, but I do want to ask a question. Okay, does he only fight at night like Batman? I mean, look at these eye bags. How long has it been since he last slept? No, I'm just kidding. That's actually a pretty...
I mean, if his career, he's in the military, and most of them have to automatically enroll, so he probably took the fighting stuff seriously. He even got the dent in his teeth to prove it. But I'm surprised. How they got this many virgins out there, like dudes. This is crazy. I mean,
background, but hey,
they not even religious.
His trench coat just to make sure he ain't one of those day walkers. Okay. Apart from the fact that this guy might be a vampire, he's actually also one of the strongest contestants, believe it or not. Of course, that's when you compare him to candidate number 5, Rainfrog, that appears right after. So Rainfrog
that's his name.
contestant number 5 gave to himself because he says rainfrogs are known for their remarkable vitality, and they're also an endangered species, which makes them relatively rare and precious. And where he's going with all that is basically, he's also slowly becoming an endangered species in the modern dating market, yet he does always find the vitality to keep going. Which, you know what? Great mentality.
Hey, that's a bar, I guess. The name Rain Frog is cool. I'm not even gonna hate that Rain Frog. Who about to pull up? Rain Frog. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Rainfrog is a glass half full person, which is always welcome in the dating market. But the thing is, Rainfrog might be a little too careful about the whole extinction thing. Like when this man first appeared, it seems like it was genuinely a mission just for him to muster up the courage to get out of the car.
응? 왜 안 내리세요?
문이 안 열리나?
아,
누굴 기다리는 거 아니야?
지금 너무 지금 긴장하셔가지고 차에서 못 내리시는 것 같은데.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, you know, every step is calculated from here onwards, just manual breathing all the way, fearing for his life. Another thing about Rainfrog, now that I've realized, is that no matter what scene he is in, this guy is somehow always carrying the energy of somebody who is trying to sneak past the airport security line at the customs, as if he has a bag or something he shouldn't be bringing into the country. What has he been through?
Yeah, he
But
keep
as
darting
awkward
his
as he may
eyes,
be as
bro.
well, turns out Rainfrog is actually the only guy.
Like, bro, you can't be darting your eyes like that in a room, bro. It makes you look nervous and annoyed, bro. You don't want to look nervous and annoyed around the chicks, man, around the girls. The ladies, you don't want to do that. They pick up on that naturally, even if they can't pick up on it like up here. Something go click like yeah, something up with him. Something up
Entire
with that
roster
one.
who've actually been in a relationship before.
Oh,
See, how about that? Which technically means this guy's not even a multi solo until you find out the relationship he had only went on for less than 2 weeks, and the only reason he broke up was because he planned the first date with the girl, and then he forgot to pull up to the date that he planned and went to play soccer instead.
연애하기로 약속을
에이.
했는데 그걸 깜빡하고 또 공을 차버려가지고 또 여자친구 안 또 그런 부분도 있고.
So maybe he's all careful and shit because he knows his ex-girlfriend is waiting somewhere with a sniper rifle. And last but not least, we have this guy who I've just decided to call him the normal dude because, hey, he's actually just a normal dude. Does he have issues communicating? Nope, not really. In fact, he's actually quite confident in most of his social interactions. And unlike George, whenever this guy is talking to somebody, they don't end up looking like they're trying.
you see how he just came into the room all chill? He not all fidgety, all head down, you know, glancing
Too
everywhere.
polite to leave. In fact, this dude is genuinely so normal. Korean netizens are suspecting him of being a disguised multi-solo because he actually went on a date with one of the female contestants later on called Camellia, and even she was doubting him.
바르기 쉬운 거 주시는 거예요?
네.
드실 때 좀 편하라고.
배려봐라.
섬세함.
배려봐라.
목솔 아니죠? 목솔 아니죠?
Okay, which really just tells you how these women really came in with no expectations. What is this, a normal guy? Well, color me impressed. Okay, the dating segment
She like it.
show is also very simple and brutal
Oh,
because the
shit.
method the show uses to get the men to choose a partner is just everybody lines up in a field and then based purely off the first impressions from the
What?
introduction hall. If you fancy somebody, sprint towards them. The first or two people there gets a date. So the first
What?
matchup we got to see was my personal favorite, Rookie and Rainfrog, who both chose to go with a girl called Duchoku. Now, Duchoku is one of the first female candidates to get introduced. She calls herself Duchoku because Duchoku is her favorite snack, so she named herself after the snack. I'll see if I can find a picture, actually. It kind of looks like a mochi bowl with, like, Dubai chocolate inside. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, that's her favorite snack. So, as a result, on Duchoku's end, it's looking like she'll be going on a two-person date, which is allowed. But then again, judging from the looks these girls had when the men first sprinted towards them, it does look like that is too many. So, Rookie and Rainfrog is a love triangle. Another love triangle that we get to see was between the Past Man and Count Dracula, who both made a beeline
Love Bro, Love Triangle on a dating show is crazy. Like, there's other girls there, bro. Y'all about to fight for the same one. But then again, some of them are Mo Soul or whatever you call them. So they probably don't got the experience to know better. But who knows?
contestant number 4, which really isn't a surprise because, hey, just look at the way she had these two motherfuckers acting when she was first introducing herself.
안녕하세요. 전
어머님은 넥타이를 그치?
Hey, bruh. Hey, cuz, get the tying up his tie. Bro, I haven't worn the tie in so long. When I used to wear those type of things, though, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bow tie type of dude. You feel me? It's something about the bow tie. It's just a little more classy, and you don't gotta set them motherfuckers up for real. You could just throw them on. I don't know how to fold a tie.
By the way, her name is Firemoth because she says that she is, quote unquote, the type of girl to usually fly into a red flag and burn in the process. Which, I don't know what kind of man she likes. to be.
That's not sound good. That don't sound too good. But hey,
But I think in this case, the red flags are flying towards her. I feel like both these women, though, actually did get the better end of the deal compared to contestant number 3, who named herself Ping Pong, because she
What?
believes she is capable of responding well to any situation. So then immediately she was put to the test, as George makes a dash towards Ping Pong, making this matchup a one-on-one. And the reason George went for Ping Pong is also very simple. When he was describing on what his ideal type is, George mentioned earlier that he is a PhD student returning overseas from his studies in the UK, and he is now learning how to take home
Damn, he got his PhD already. Or he about to get it. He look young, bro. Man, them Asians don't play. That's crazy. He better be 30 years old, doctor. Doctor in his 30s. It's crazy.
a family business. So that's why his ideal type, in his own words, must be an intellectual and a new age woman. I tried my best to find out what that means. I think the best way to explain his type is that he just wants somebody who is career driven. And I mean, considering Ping Pong does have a very professional look and the way she carries herself is also very elegant, it's not exactly a mind-blowing fact.
She look
that
kinda
she
old,
does
though,
tick
bro.
all of
How old is
George's
she, bro?
boxes. But George, on the other hand, see, I don't know if he's leaving
I
that
don't
great
know.
of an impression at all.
I don't know though. She might not be that old, bro. I might be tripping though, but it's, it might be the swag.
내 손도
She got the granny kid on.
손도 확실히 싫으니까.
아,
You know what? I hope one day, when I am 80 years old, I can also be this nonchalant. What, your hands are cold? I don't know, sounds like a you problem. Okay, so with that in mind, that does leave us the last one-on-one matchup in the show, which is the normal dude and Camellia, who we talked about before. And really, as expected, the date just goes well. Or hey, judging from what we're seeing right now, maybe it's going too well.
이게 좀 과감히 까고 올거든요.
야, 이거 플러팅 아닙니까?
Although, at the end of that date, this guy does also tell us that he wasn't really into Camellia because he was thinking about Duchoku this whole time. Because this guy has an ideal
For real, they all on that Jane. Why?
and it's an actress called Gu Young Jun. And when they were all doing their icebreakers, everybody was saying Duchoku.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, dog. It's hard to keep up, bruh. Duke Jock Kook. Yeah,
Looks
cuz.
like that actress. So I think a huge chunk of that attraction
Rain
is probably
Frog.
the crowd just gaslighting him, which I think is a real thing amongst dudes. I don't know, try it out. If you know a guy who's liked by a girl and he doesn't like her back, a little social experiment you can try at home is you get everybody in that social group to get in on it and you just start the gaslighting. Dude, why don't you like her back? She literally looks like insert celebrity lookalike. Just mess with his head. Actually, there is one thing about the normal dude, now that I think about it. He did have this weird look on
Oh
his face when they
shit.
were all
Hey, that's funny. That's actually funny. Diabolical low key too. Cause they gonna be running hot. Like what?
Duchoku looked like that actress. So when I saw that part, I genuinely thought he was trying to be all snarky about that comment. Because how the hell is this face in any shape or form expressing that she is my dream type? But I do remember it could be one of those moments where you see someone so hot you're just like, ooh. But then, hey, I mean, if that's the face he makes whenever he sees a girl he fancies, then that's probably why he's single all this time. But then, funnily enough, right, the reason why he ended up going with Camellia wasn't because he didn't try to go for Duchoku, it was because he couldn't physically outrun Rainfrog and Rookie on that one. So he went to the nearest girl in his trajectory, which happened to be Camellia, so...
Hey, that's
Once again,
crazy.
what could I say? Anyways, so the two women who are spared from the whole ordeal this round are Sorat, who the past man passed on, and Turnip, which I am going to call it a blessing.
Why would they like Soul Rat? Oh shit, I'm crying. I'm gonna go back.
It was because he couldn't physically outrun Rainfrog and Rookie.
Hey, these names are fire though. Soul Rat, Rain Frog.
That one. So he went to the nearest girl in his trajectory, which happened to be Camellia, so... Once again, what could I say? Anyways, so the two women who are spared from the whole ordeal this round are Sorat.
She got a fur coat on, bro. Sheesh. What the fuck?
Who the past man passed on.
They got the golf types out there. All black.
And Turnip, which I am going to call it a blessing in disguise, because from what we are about to see, I don't think a single girl walked away from those dates particularly feeling like love is in the air. Like take Rookie and Rainfrog's date for example. At the beginning I would say things were going well. Rainfrog even took the initiative to open the door for Tujoku, had the whole panel shocked, did not realize bro had it in him. But then as soon as they began to drive towards the dating spot, the interactions in the car ride started to feel less like a conversation and
Hey,
more
bruh.
like an impromptu Q&A between a detective and two uncooperative witnesses.
취미 있으세요?
Hey, bro, in the back. Hey, this is diabolical. Bro in the back is just there passing time. They both about to take her out. They had two girls there. They had two girls there that didn't get picked. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches, bruh. Cause this was not smart. Buddy, you in the back seat. Wow.
있습니다. 있어요.
아니 있냐고요.
In the back seat.
있냐는 게 물어본 게 아니라요. 어떤 취미인지를
Not saying nothing.
있으세요?
아, 네.
You know what? Maybe Rainfrog.
Hey, funny enough though, just being on this show, in the world we live in today, this dystopian world we're in, he's gonna end up getting some girls. All of these guys are gonna end up getting some girls after doing this show. Well, they're gonna have opportunities to get girls. That's a fact. Will they capitalize? I don't know. With that smile, who knows? Hey. His tactic might not be to say nothing.
Hobbies because the whole soccer
You
thing
know?
might have given him PTSD. Eventually, though, Jujunku did get the conversation going, and the two guys did also get a bit more comfortable.
Oh, he gets
so
to
it's looking like
talking.
things are finally going uphill for Jujunku. But Ping Pong, on the other hand, might not be so lucky. Because by this point, most people are already on their way
Ping
to restaurants.
Pong.
Meanwhile, George and Ping Pong are still stuck at the original spot, trying to figure out what restaurant to go with.
뭐 드시고 싶으세요?
이거 없이 좀 잘 먹긴 한데
They too smart for their own good.
다 잘 드세요.
조금 좀 가린 편이에요.
아 가리는 편이에요. 아 그래 그래 가릴 수 있죠.
Because see, Ping Pong says she's good with whatever. But then George tells her he's not because he's a picky eater. But then he doesn't actually help Ping Pong find a restaurant. So how
If you're a picky eater, then you should know what you want to eat because you're a picky eater. Because being a picky eater, that means you have things that you frequently eat. You have things that you frequently snack on. You don't like to try new things because you're a picky eater. So you should already have something in mind. Unless he must be like on some pig shit when he go eat. That's what it gotta be.
is she supposed to figure out where they're gonna go?
He don't want to
That
embarrass
back and forth
himself.
Exchange, the pair then
Man,
eventually
you better
settles
go
on
take
the
her for
Italian
some
food.
drinks.
But unfortunately, right, the places he wanted to eat were
Or
also
like
closed,
some coffee,
because if I had to
some
guess,
shit,
There just
tea.
weren't too many people in Korea who fancies a lunchtime spaghetti. So then this segment goes on for a little too long.
I know they
Even
drink
Ping
tea
Pong
out
started to
there.
Get a little impatient and told George to, hey, maybe start looking for a restaurant.
이것도 3시 브레이크. 이거 끝났고. 이것도 2시 브레이크. 어떡하지?
아 너무 추워 보여.
Why don't they just go for a walk? Fuck it.
조진님도 한번 찾아보시겠어요?
참아뒀다.
그래
조진님.
좀 가르쳐야 돼요.
But eventually, Ping Pong found a nearby Korean restaurant, and the pair finally started making their way to the date spot. And that's where George decided to begin his series of advances, letting Ping Pong know she is exactly his type. And then, in George's own words, he says that he is the type of man who, once he's made a decision, will absolutely follow through with it. So that's why he needs to go through this process of discovery so that he knows for sure that he's made the correct choice. Which is a totally valid point because getting to know each other is a very important part of the equation when it comes to dating, but I think the biggest blind spot that George is suffering from is that he completely ignored the fact that due diligence goes both ways. Because during the car ride, Ping Pong also asked whether or not he cares about the age gap between the two. So George tells
I knew she was old. Let me chill, bro. Let me chill. Well, somebody old in this situation. I don't know who. I'm not gonna lie. Asians they be looking younger than they really are for real. They could be 40 and look like they 25 or some shit. So you never know.
rather than age, what he really cares more about is stamina.
근데 저는 오히려 나이보다는 체력을 좀 보는 것 같아요. 네. 저 같은 경우에는 이제 최종 2년을 생각해야 되니까 애를 낳아야 되니까 애를 낳으려고 기르려고 하면 좀 체력이 좀 돼야 되잖아요.
Okay, straight to the point of the first date, George. Some would say just like General Patton. So after Ping Pong hears that, she gently reminds him of the fact that some people may not be interested in raising a child again, as she herself is also a single mother. And that's when
Lord. Yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked. She just wanna have fun.
kind of falls into a dilemma.
근데 만약에
That's what she basically said to BIB shit.
친구분들이 있으신 분들이 어떻게 해요 그러면?
자녀요?
Dog, his world just fell. Chicken Little. Sky falling on his head right now. Doing the calculations.
그럴 수 있죠. 근데 좀 자녀는 조금 약간은 부담스러운 게 좀 있는 것 같아요.
그렇죠.
네.
아무래도.
남의 애를 키우기는 좀 그렇다 이런 생각이 들어요.
Hey, bro. Hey, bruh. Oh, shit. This nigga is on 1,000. Lord.
애도 키우기 힘든데.
아,
He said,
Hey.
what you think? I'm finna raise your kid too? Nah.
Don't I process
Oh,
my
bro.
completely hypothetical parental concerns out loud in real time to the single
Right.
mother in front of
What
me,
you
worded in
drinking?
the worst way possible. Fingers crossed for a vote from her in the evening. But then what is genuinely more insane is that whilst on one hand George states dating somebody who already has kids is clearly a deal breaker in his books, that he's mentioned multiple times throughout the show that he absolutely does not want to date people with kids, right? But on the other hand, he still tries to take things to the next step and suggests to her that maybe they should have kids.
평소에 운동
But he's just trying to crack. Like, come on. You see it in his face. He's all straight bullshit. What?
해요. 아까 체력 문제가 제가 얘기했었는데 육아를 위해서
It's wild because she older and she already know what you got going on upstairs in your head, buddy. I'm going to be honest with you. You might as well just get to the point. I'm going to be honest.
그쵸. 체력이 진짜 중요하죠.
Hey, Ping Pong, I know I just said I don't want to date you because you have kids. And I know you just said as well that you don't want to have kids with me. But how about you hit the gym so you can have my kids? But at least
Hey, bro. Talk about persuasion. Lord. Talk about Asian persuasion, man. Buddy in there putting her through the course.
now know Ping Pong is right. She is able to literally deal with anything. The fact that she's able to still keep a straight face in this whole conversation is just remarkable in my opinion. I have a confession to make. I feel like I'm not telling both sides of the story. Because it's not all bad. He actually did do this one positive thing on this date where he took the initiative in getting the bill. But even then, he says he only did it because that's the type of thing that'll improve his reputation.
첫 데이트고 이제 그 하니까 제 평판도 이미지를 좀 좋게 하기.
Bro, you don't say these things. Even if you thinking it, even if that's the reason you did it, why are you saying it? Like you don't do that. But then again, that's probably why he's single or something and never Monsoul or so Monsoul.
여기서 한번 좀 그런 것 같아요.
I'ma steal
But,
that
as far
too.
as the ping pong story,
Hey, that's fake better than incel. Monsoul or whatever they be saying.
George is 6 feet under in the romance graveyard. Anyways, that was a little side quest. To cleanse your eyes, how about some rookie time? That's right, back to Rainfrog and my favorite bachelor rookie. The dynamic on their end has also now moved on from the awkward Q&A in the car ride earlier to now what appears to be Duchoku, the single mother with her 2 sons at a restaurant. See, Duchoku gives him the fork, Duchoku pours the water.
Bro, she a single mom too, bro. I thought out South Korea they had a 4B movement, and they had like a birth population decrease, or like they're having a crisis with population and babies and whatnot, because the lady said they not having kids. I'm seeing there's a couple single moms right here though. I don't know, that's not adding up. That don't be adding up. I be going smack at girls in real life too, and I be running there like endless single moms too, bro. And they tell you that the birth rate is declining over here too. It don't add up, but okay.
Juchoku grills the meat. Baruki quickly understood the assignment and started hopping on the grill as well to help. But Rainfrog only has 2 assignments. Rainfrog drinks, Rainfrog eats. Is he on the show because he hasn't eaten for a few weeks? And I guess
Damn,
maybe
homie.
seeing Rainfrog occupy himself at the grill meat station, that does leave Rookie the chance to press on, so he did use this opportunity to try and break through and conquer his fear of talking to the opposite gender.
아, 저 혼잣말이.
Hey, bro, he got it bad. Wow. He's just looking down at the grill. He can't even look up at her. You better take down some soju and start yapping.
아 손에 땀이
혼자서
나.
혼잣말로 무슨 말을 해야 되지?
Oh, actually, this could be the moment.
제일 예쁜 아닌 거 하시나요?
Wow. Hey, that's a good question though. Let's see if she confident. Okay.
절대 아니요. 아니죠, 아니죠.
이제 뒤에 얘기해야 돼. 저는 그렇게 생각하는데 해야지.
해야지.
You know what? Fuck yeah. Rookie then went on to redeem.
That's crazy though. She did not think she was going into this dating show. I doubt she thought she was gonna end up with 2 fans at the hot pot.
Actually got up to try and stop Juchoku from paying the bill as well. Look at him go. But then to Rainfrog, on the other hand,
No.
that was just more meat for Rainfrog. You know, I can see exactly why he went to play soccer instead of going on the first date. You say what you will, but this man knows his priorities. Not leaving without a date, more like not leaving on an empty stomach. I also like how he did try to do a little cheeky save on his reputation when she got back from paying the bill.
왠지 느낌이 계산하시고 오는 느낌인데요.
응?
제가 하겠습니다.
네? 아, 아니요, 했어요.
왠지 느낌이 계산하시고 오는.
아, 제가
Hey, bro, he's sly as shit. Yo,
Did you grab the bill? Should have been me.
buddy chops down like 3 little plates, so the 3 of them little tea plates and shit. And then he talk about some. Did you go pay the bill? Lord.
Because you gotta throw in a little bit of that performative guilt. Because I might be a cheap ass, but I'm a courteous cheap ass. I guess Rainfrog really is a glass half full person though, because he also believed that the date went fairly well.
솔선수범해서 그 사장님께 식당 사장님께 사이다 요청도 한번 다시 하고 그런 모습이 너무 호감적이고 제가
Bro, they all dressed like they just on the New York runway or something. Like, Lord.
티키타카는 그렇게 잘 되진 않지만 그래도 먼저 좀 다가와주는 말도 걸어주고 그런 부분이 제가 호감이 가장 가는 것 같습니다.
I feel like this guy is someone's high school best friend. You get a call on a random Wednesday school night. Dude, you don't understand. She even paid for the date. I swear to God, she was all over me. Just when you think things can't get any worse, meanwhile on Passman's end, if you thought this guy was already kind of like an anime villain, then this date that is about to unfold is literally his villain origin story. Because right from the get-go, contestant number 3, Firemoth, was not paying any attention at all to the Passman. I would even go as far to say the situation overall is looking quite one-sided from Dracula's end. Like, Dracula cannot possibly be this funny. But then Passman does give us a little fourth wall-breaking moment and tells us this is typically the love triangle dynamic that you see on reality shows. He is determined to come out on top. So Passman then decided to make the first move and actually found the whole squad a restaurant that sends discount coupons and free kimchi pancakes, which I think is really thoughtful. In my opinion, being resourceful and knowing how to find a deal is always genuinely attractive. But then Firemoth actually called him out for being a cheap ass.
김치전 써주시고 이거 딱 쿠폰 하면
쿠폰도 하시게요?
김치전은 먹어도 될 것 같은데.
And then proceeded to still end up going in Dracula's car, even though both of them were saying, I'll drive.
He's saving that gas.
내 차로 갈까요? 그럼 내 차로 갈까요? 내거 삽시다.
네, 좋아요, 좋아요.
네, 제가
What was that? Yeah, you want to drive, little buddy? Think again. But also, who the hell says no to discounts? Anyways, so already Passman is
no
at a more of a
bullshit.
disadvantage sitting.
He don't know her. I don't know her. I'm like trying to get the best deal I possibly can on the first date. I don't know if you worth my favorite restaurant yet. I'm gonna be honest.
in the backseat
I
of
don't want to
another
ruin my
vehicle
favorite
on a
restaurant
date,
either with a
because,
first
oh,
date.
You don't want to be that guy. You don't
Like,
want to be
what?
that. Oh, what are you guys doing at the
That's
front?
not smart.
Like, you don't know. You know that's crazy. But then what's crazy? That was literally what happened. So the conversation then gets to a point where the guys at the front were talking about first impressions, and Dracula started saying how people always thought he looked either like a researcher or somebody who works in finance. So I guess the impression he's leaving people is that he works long hours. If I had to guess, it's probably because of the eyes. So Passman then tries to chime into the conversation as well and says, yeah, people always say I look like a professor too. And both of them at the front just started laughing, but like a little too hard.
딱 처음 봤을 때는 약간 그 연구원 아닌 증권맨 느낌. 맞아. 저도 이제 증권맨이 있을 것 같아요.
교수님
왠지.
같다고 얘기 많이 듣는데. 왜 나 웃으시지? 왜 웃어? 너무 빵 터지시는데.
교수님 스타일이기도 해요.
Yo, come on.
He do though a little too much. Like he pushing 40 in the professor too. I hope that's crazy.
Guys, I didn't think it was that funny. Alright, I genuinely cannot tell if Dracula is just that much more of a smooth talker than him, or if Firemoth just simply does not fuck with him.
These people seem pretty old, dog. Like they look like they're in their 30s minimum, bro. To be months old is crazy.
Man, because there comes a point where during the ordering process, because they went to a place where it's pay first, eat later, so whilst the two were fighting over who gets the bill, that's where Firemoth also tells us that she was kind of turned off by Passman's behavior of fighting for the bill.
꼼꼼하게. 야, 되게 꼼꼼하시네.
근데 대부분 그렇게 안 하시긴 하는데. 되게 저랑 다르다. 저는 저렇게 안 쓰거든요. 와, 되게 진짜 알뜰하다. 이 생각을 했어요.
Yeah, look at this
Scaring the
mathematician over
man.
here. First he's trying to get us a solid deal, now he's trying to pay for my food. What's with all the scheming, huh? But then once again, two sides of the story, right? Because to Firemoth's defense, the Passman does also ask some questions that aren't exactly easy to respond to either, especially on a first date.
저 진짜 교수님 같아 보여죠?
Bro. What?
노안
아니요.
사람들 다 그런 소리 나와가지고 만나는 사람들마다. 근데 그게 잘생겼다 말은 아닌 것 같아서.
지적이라는 뜻이겠죠.
왜요?
귀여우셔.
지적이어 보인다.
잘생기진 않았다라는 말과 똑같은 것 같아요.
아니, 그런 뜻으로 말한 건 아니고.
You know, I really think he has the potential to be a very good boyfriend because he is very thoughtful, and I think that thoughtfulness from the fact that he is very conscious about the details, but sometimes you just gotta let go of every little detail, unless it gives you a free kimchi pancake. So after Dracula returns from the bathroom, the rest of the
Them things look good. I ain't never had that before.
goes pretty much as expected, with Firemoth having a good time with Dracula and Passman is just stepping on eggshells the whole date. And honestly, right, if there is one person who truly got anything out of that date, then it is Dracula, because the confidence on this man, oh my god. The first thing bro did when he came back was declare war on George, letting him know.
I mean, he is a fighter. He could probably whoop all their ass in there. So, you know, he of course, I'm not surprised he got the confidence.
Right in front of his face that he had his eyes on ping pong.
그분한테 가려고 그랬어요. 핑퐁님?
진짜요?
핑퐁님? 이름이 계속 안 외워져.
And then a few moments later, contestant number 6, Turnip, also walked into the men's dormitory for a quick vibe check. And I guess that's when he also started kicking himself for not noticing sooner that, hey, turns out Turnip, who nobody went for during the day, was also quite the charming lady.
Duh. Bro, these guys are bozos. I noticed that. How you guys run into the same girl? Ego is. That's why ego. Okay. Hey, I don't know if the 4B movement is real out there. You got guys out there running to the same girl, doing things like that. But who knows? This was a good video though. Y'all go mess with bro Jeff Gow. Jeff Gow. That's alright. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Love, man. Love.